You saw the game-winning play once, but have to replay it 3 times on the way back to the hotel. Because some moments don't end at the buzzer. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western. Book direct and save at bestwestern.com.
Hey, it's Sterling K. Brown from the Hulu original series Paradise. The next chapter begins as Xavier's search for his wife takes him above ground, and what he finds will change everything. It was never just about the bunker. Tune in and discover the truth lies outside. Paradise, the official podcast, is now streaming, and stream Paradise on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast. It is time for
Amin
to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy.
Amin.
Weekend Observations is brought to you by Miller Lite. Legendary moments start with a light.
Dave! We ridiculed this man for years. Called him a homer. Called him a doddering fool. Called him disrespectful. But I think it's time. We all owe Greg Cody an apology. Connor McOverrated. Connor McChoker. I went to a watch party in Old Town Scottsdale at 6 a.m. and got full-blown PTSD hearing the penalty sounder. Someone got sent to that. I'm like, no! And I'm like, oh, wait, no, I'm not on the show. It's okay. That was Nam. Boldy juggling the puck en route to score. That was nasty. We haven't talked about that once. You guys keep sucking off Jack Hughes. This dude juggled a hockey puck going full speed ahead and knocked it past.
He should have gotten the assist and the goal. He passed it to himself.
It was easily one of the sickest hockey moments I've ever witnessed in my life. Second to the 2010 gold medal game where the entire crowd, every single person in the crowd, wore the official Canada red jersey. Nobody had like their own t-shirt that they made at home. Nobody had like, oh, I'm going to wear like my favorite hockey team. I'm a Penguins. Everyone had the team hockey jersey on. 20,000 people at GM Place. I've never seen anything like that before in sports. How do you blow a 5-on-3? Hockey people, explain this one to me.
No Crosby.
Also, the U.S. killed off every single penalty in the tournament, so they were 100%.
Asterisk.
My favorite baseball is spring training baseball. And let me tell you something. Don't talk to me about no grapefruits. Cactus League. Underway this weekend. It was 82 degrees yesterday. Ooh. Guys, what are you doing?
I love spring training baseball.
It's so much better than regular baseball. It's so much better. Other than playoffs.
And outside of the fact that you're getting guys wearing like 92
That's
playing
the best
game.
part.
I like when the guys run laps in the outfield while the game is actually going on.
Oh, it's the best. Running poles. By the way, that should be the punishment when we're talking about things in baseball, but we'll have that conversation another day.
By the way, do you guys have this in the Grapefruit League? Like the seating where it's not even seats, it's just a grassy knoll that people sit on?
Yeah, that exists at different ballparks.
Like the Little League World Series?
It's awesome.
Cactus League, baby. Nothing like it. Don't look now. Here come the Spurs. Won 8 straight, 9 of their last 10. Celtics started Baylor Shireman for the 10th time last night versus the Lakers. And you jamokes are sitting around wondering if Jason Tatum should come back. Are you out of your mind? Baylor Shireman. Hey guys, we got Jason Tatum. No. Baylor's been on a hot streak. Get out of here, man. Having said that, Joe Mazzulla has to stop being coy at press conferences. We got practice sessions today. Did he practice? He does a little Cash Patel, too. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Joe Mazzulla. He's got a little Cash Patel in him.
I was sorry you missed Cash Patel. He was just here.
Oh.
Seems like you're never in the same... starting to get fishy.
Well, I'll go to 11 and find him, track him down there.
Good.
All right. New season of Bar Rescue. It's a great time to remind everyone about Here's the Science, a Bar Rescue podcast. Here's the logo for the Here's the Science, a Bar Rescue podcast. It's hosted by real-life bar and restaurant consultant Chelsea Reynolds, commercial kitchen and food truck vet Colin Cassard, and 2 people who have visited a bar or several in their day, Zach Harper and myself. Wherever you get podcasts. WNBA sent a counter proposal to the WNBPA. In it, they proposed the same salary cap and same rev share. Heady play. You guys ever do that in negotiation? They're like, what if we counter with this? And you're like, what if I counter with this? And your counter is basically the same thing that you offered to begin with.
Flat is the new raise.
I love it, man. Because sometimes people don't read, and they're like, yeah, this is a lot better. Okay.
Do people do that money slide the piece of paper across the table thing in real life? That's happened in real life?
Have I never told you my favorite slide the money on a piece of paper story ever?
No.
Allen Houston plays for the Knicks. They're playing great. They go to the finals. The second year they lose in the conference finals. He's been awesome. He's outperformed his contract. He opts out. And his agent is like, hey, let's go in aggressive and ask $77 million on the next deal. And they said they sat down and the Knicks slid the paper over and it said $100 million, and they just got up and said, let me see that pen. They never negotiated. They never said anything. They were going to start at 77 and work their way down to like 74. The Knicks started at 100 and said, let me see your pen.
Why are you eating that piece of paper, Allen Houston? None of your business. I missed breakfast.
Don't look now. Here come the Bulls. Losers of 9 straight and 9 of their last 10. Guys, it's going to be a hell of a tank season. Congrats to Pat Riley getting a statue outside of crypto. Your move, Miami. I mean,
he'll have one.
Why? Why are we waiting?
He's still active.
He's still there.
He should have been there before Wade.
Oh, okay.
Disrespectful, if you ask me.
I mean, the court is named after him.
Needs a statue.
Does that mean they're not going to give him a statue because they gave him the court?
Of course they'll
You get the court and a statue?
Yes, of course.
I mean, he is the most important figure in the history of this franchise.
And maybe
You
a
give him-
banner.
But when you give him the court, is the court not... You can only ever do one
You never
court.
talk about the court, though.
You can give multiple
No, you
statues.
You never talk about the court.
It's a statue. We need when NBC or ABC have the shot, they've got to do the panning shot. You got to have the statue right out there. Oh, look at that.
You can only do one court.
The court is patronizing. If the arena is named after somebody else and all I get is the court,
Yeah.
I feel like you're marginalizing my deeds.
Absolutely.
What about Coach K?
Nobody calls it
I
the
don't care
Coach
for
K
it.
court. Nobody calls it that.
I didn't even know that until right now, Roy. Misconnection. You were the caramel skin stunner with pretty eyes waiting for your car at the valet stand. I was the guy who rear-ended it. Team Canada. Still the best jersey in the Olympics. Fight me. That red with the black maple leaf? Bad intentions. Fight me, Roy.
Not bad enough, I guess.
Jersey can't win the game, man. Jersey can't score in a 5-on-3. You got to do that.
There was no 87 jersey out there. History will remember.
97 wasn't going to do it. It was a big game.
Miracle on Ice. Overrated. Cinephobe, episode 300. Crossover. Movie was so unintentionally hilarious we made it a 2-part episode. One of the characters is a high school phenom. Tony, stay with me on this one because I need your expertise on this. One of the characters is a high school phenom who has his full ride scholarship to medical school revoked. So rather than going to the NBA, he opts to go to community college where he graduates with honors.
Who writes these?
Someone who has never been to college.
So full ride to medical school gets denied.
So he's a high school player.
Right.
He plays in an underground game that apparently some people got paid to play in. He didn't take any money. But it gets out, and he loses his full ride to medical school. Not to college.
To play basketball at the medical school?
To play basketball, but also to go to medical school.
Okay, I'm following.
And because he loses it, this agent is like, yo, you go to NBA, I'll get you placed. And he says, nah, that ain't my dream. So he goes to community college instead, and he graduates with honors. I didn't even know community college had honors.
I went, they didn't.
Cinebo, wherever you get podcasts.
Why wouldn't junior college have honors?
Because it's junior.
Because we're all here in junior college. We didn't make it to regular college. There's no honors.
Proud shark.
Exactly right. Proud shark.
Is my camera right here? Hey, Team Canada. Our Connor is better than your Connor. Hey, Team USA. Connor Hellebuck is your MVP. Not Jack Hughes. Connor Hellebuck. Speaking of hell, Art Briles. Those are the weekend observations.
It is time to talk to you kind folks about one of our best partners, one of our longest tenured partners, Miller Lite. You know, we've been with Miller Lite for about half of their illustrious existence, and I couldn't be more grateful.
We often ask you to support those who support us.
So the other day, I was fully in stay-at-home mode, had the left turns on, relaxing on the couch, long day, sweatpants, remote in hand, already planning which sporting event I was gonna flip to next. Then a friend texted me, nothing big, hey, why don't we just have a small hang? And I said, come on over, pal. I got the Miller Lites on deck. I put out a bucket filled with ice-cold, beautiful white cans of Miller Lite, and we had ourselves a Sunday. Next thing you know, the race is tight. Everybody's yelling at the TV. We're toasting our beers, and we look at each other, we take a sip, and we know that we made the right call. Cheers to legendary moments with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. February can make it seem like everyone else has their love life figured out. Whether that's perfect dates, long-term partnerships, or big romantic gestures. But the truth is, most people are still figuring it out, I included. Married, dating, single, or focusing on yourself, being unsure is normal. Therapy can help take some of the pressure off. It's a space to slow down, sort through what feels heavy, and get clearer on what you want in your relationships and what might be getting in the way. Whether you're working on communication, emotional patterns, or simply trying to feel more grounded, therapy can help you find your way forward. BetterHelp works with fully licensed therapists in the US and does the matchmaking for you. You'll start with a short questionnaire to help identify your needs and preferences, and if your match doesn't feel right, you can switch therapists at any time. With over 30,000 therapists and more than 6 million people served globally, BetterHelp has an average of a 4.9 out of 5 based on 1.7 million client reviews. If you're ready to take some weight off your relationships or yourself, sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/DLB. That's betterhelp.com/DLB.
You know, as a guy, we start to get up there in age, and all of a sudden, the energy that we used to have when we were younger just isn't there anymore. I mean, I'm 45 years old now. I may look like I'm still 35, but I don't feel like I'm 35 anymore. So, when the new year came around, I had to find something to get energized again. And that's why now I'm taking Mars Men, as it unlocks usable testosterone, so I'm feeling like myself again. That's right. My body, it makes testosterone, but a lot of it gets locked up, gets hidden away, and it can't be used. So, I learned there's this protein called SHBG. It handcuffs your testosterone. Well, Mars Men is designed to free up that locked testosterone, and now my body can actually use it. Mars Men supports healthy T levels, energy, and stamina. We're talking 8 naturally, clinically dosed ingredients made in the USA. 90-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk. Worst case, you don't absolutely love it, you get your money back. For a limited time, our listeners get 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. It's a perfect way to kick off the new year strong. That's mengotomars.com for 50% off and 3 free gifts at checkout. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show. Tell them our show sent you.
Batard. For 5 minutes, I was watching everyone just like, nope, not letting you in, not letting you in. So when I got up there, I had to say something, and I said it. Cheaters never prosper.
Stugotz.
My buddy was saying not today.
Yeah, but you're
not today. Okay, so I think that was what he was adding. Yeah, that was so much better. I'm telling you, the response I got from this guy, what I said was amazing.
He got him.
Cheaters never prosper. This guy yelled as angry as he could. I ain't cheating.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
The fact that Jack Hughes' face is plastered everywhere, and no one's talking about this dude who's stopping shit left and right.
I was talking about him.
No, I'm not
Roy
talking,
was talking about.
I'm talking about nationally.
Anyone that watched that game, left that game, was like, we only won that because of Hellebuck.
No, they were all talking about Jack Hughes. What? Look at I've been watching First Take and all these things on the screen. All I see, Jack Hughes, bloody mouth, every 5 seconds. I didn't see one still of him. My man doing this right here.
There was the save that he made.
The slow motion with the stick.
Stick save?
Yeah, that was the I guess the play of the game, really, right?
They should have carried him out.
Or McAvoy blocking with his chest.
They should have been like they did in 20 CB. For here's a jolly good fellow. Just throwing him up in there.
Do we still have those
actually
things?
what they did for Jack Hughes.
Still have those things that they use?
It's like a sheet, right?
Like a big sheet, or like a trampoline, but like you hold
it.
McAvoy really spared Canada a moral conundrum because even Canadians didn't want to see Tom Wilson score the big goal, right? We can all agree universally that no one wants to see Tom Wilson do well, right? Even in our nation's capital where they pretend to care about hockey. You know, you just reminded me of something.
Before you move on, I just want to point out one more time.
Please.
One more time. I cannot believe they're making such a big deal on all the shows about Jack Hughes when Connor.
He scored the game-winning goal. He won the gold medal.
Hughes, right? You know why it's been Hughes? Because they control the media.
By the way, Zach Werenski's play is you know what? I don't know the last time I said Zach Werenski out loud, but that's a real hard one. It's almost as hard for me to say as unfathomable. I have a really hard time saying that one.
Smith and Walensky is a hard one to say. I was trying to tell my dad about that steakhouse, and I couldn't say it.
Zach Werenski made a great play to chase that puck down, and then really McKinnon he ragdolls him before he makes the great pass. Go ahead.
How about Amin saying initiative?
Initiative.
You should take a private jet there.
Initiative.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word.
Joe back. Amin, when you mentioned the Bulls, it occurs to me, I've never really thought about them in these terms. Are they now turning into the Cleveland Browns for people my age? When I found out as a child, the Browns were actually good. They used to win world championships. Like, wow, I don't know how long ago could that have been. Are the Bulls now that for people who are 25 or younger? Like, wait, the Bulls? The Bulls used to be real good. Like, the multiple titles? Really? Wow. Wouldn't have expected that.
That's a very good analogy. Yeah, because it's like, they had this guy named Jim Brown.
Or the Islanders in hockey. I'm trying to think of who those teams
The run they had
be.
with Derrick Rose being in the conversation, I don't know.
That was only a couple of years.
They were fringe.
I mean,
they
Brian
were very
Sipe
fringe.
and Bernie Kosar were good for a couple of years, too. That doesn't change the reality.
It wasn't that long. The Derrick Rose part wasn't that long. It wasn't that long, and that's the crazy part.
He was probably the second most marketable guy in that league. You'd go over to other parts of the world, and he was the face of Adidas basketball.
And then the Tyson Chandler, and who was the other guy that was
Curry?
Eddie Curry. That was supposed to be the big turnaround for the Bulls. The new era begins now.
The baby Bulls is what they called them. Jamal Crawford was on that team.
A young Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler's later. He's talking about Tyson Chandler.
They're the ones that ended the Shaq and Wade heat.
That was Jerry. And Jerry Krause's, that was his big comeback, right? Was like, now I'll show you who the straw that stirs the drink is here in Chicago.
So now we're doing another soft launch of my favorite future segment on the show, which is Hot Take Time Machine, which is we go back to 1998. And
fun idea.
We're playing in 98. And everyone's like, I can't believe Jerry Krause did this. And I'm going to be the guy guys, you don't understand. He's clearing cap space. You guys aren't looking ahead. The year 2000, it's a smorgasbord of free agents. We got Kevin Garnett coming up. We've got Grant Hill. We've got Tim Duncan. We've got Tracy McGrady. Chicago is synonymous with success. We are the championship organization. These guys are going to be fighting over each other to sign with the Bulls to be the heir apparent to Michael Jordan. And that's what Jerry Krause is doing. He's getting it. And by the way, also, we'll have a number 1 overall pick along with it. Oh, my God, this guy, he thinks Jerry Krause doesn't know what he's doing. You'll see. We'll laugh 5 years from now when we're running the league. We'll laugh.
Why do you sound like Shock G?
Rest in peace.
We were talking about that on Friday, Amin, and maybe I misspoke a little bit and I heard about it from people on social media. I said, is 2 of the biggest bust of all time, which isn't exactly the way I meant to couch it. I mean from the
Tim
time...
Couch. Oh, sorry.
Not Tim Couch, but that's another guy on the short list. That's a great call there. By the way, I want to ask Matt Ryan, why do you, in his MVP year, why do you wear the number 2? Of all the numbers that a quarterback could wear, 2, it's unbecoming for obvious reasons. And he said, because my favorite player growing up wore it. And I said, who was that? Tim Couch. How many people can rightly say that they ended up being better at the sport than their idol?
Kevin Garnett wore 21 because Malik Sealy was his favorite player.
There you go. That's a nice little...
Probably a lot of good pro athletes, right?
That end up being better? Well, what I meant to say about Tua was, when we first became aware of this guy, that this Tua is going to be a phenom. Oh, he just threw the national title winning pass there. So clearly we're right about that. He's destined for the stars. And then for him to not achieve that, is he the number one in that regard? I think along those lines about your hot takes, your hot take time machine that's fascinating to me, is what if somebody traveled back to 1988 and told you Darryl Strawberry and Dwight Gooden, neither of them is going to wind up in the Hall of Fame.
It's not going to work
neither one of them gets into the Hall.
Hey.
Like, what? Impossible.
Right,
Impossible.
We're back here on WNM Radio, and we're talking Mets here. And Dave, you told me in the break you've got an interesting theory about...
Get this, Bob. Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry, neither one of them's going to the Hall of Fame.
It sounds crazy.
Nuts for you. Nuts for you, fellas. You're the bee's knees now.
Guys, this is
happening to my brand.
This is 1988, not 1928.
But we're doing radio, old-timey radio. And we've got
You'd be doing it in New York.
A time machine.
In Queens.
Yeah, that's right. That's how we talk in Queens, see? Hey, I tell you what, both those fellas, going to run the Mets for years. We're going to win 17 pennants, 25 World Series. I don't do the math that well.
Amin, I hope we'll have time to tap into this over the course of the next 4 days while we're all together here. But I am curious. People are trying, it feels to me, as somebody who's just now, no jive. I have a no jive policy, and I'm not going to jive you.
No one's calling anyone a JT.
No, I'm not. I'm not here to jive. Not myself, not you, not anybody. I feel like as Mike Ryan volunteered his interest in the Cleveland Cavaliers, boosted by James Harden, classic playoff performer, I think people are trying to talk themselves into who is going to compete with the Celtics come springtime in the playoffs. Is it a foregone conclusion in your expert analysis that the Celts represent the East?
No, not a foregone conclusion. I think that's who I'm betting on in my mind. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win the East.
Really?
And I don't even think it's dependent on whether Tatum comes back. I
completely agree. Well, I assume he's coming back, but the discussion that it's going to be hard to reintegrate him
that's the most foolish discussion I've ever heard on this program.
That, I mean, you and I park our cars in the same garage on that.
I don't like that.
Man,
I don't like that phrase.
I think
it's my favorite Davism.
That's my hate.
I think it's only natural to anticipate them having a strange acclimation point in which they struggle for a couple of games.
I think the reason why is because you guys are assuming Jason Tatum is going to come back and he's like, good as new, let's run all the play. And it's like, he's coming back from an Achilles tear in less than 12 months. He's not going to be anywhere near 100%. He won't be able to demand usage and touches and all those things. He has to be a supporting player because physically that's all he can do. He's going to be on crazy minutes restrictions. He'll probably be off certainly not back-to-backs, but you don't have those in the playoffs. He's not going to be able to play a role that even comes close to I need the ball in my hands all the time. He's got to fit in.
I don't know. I'm just looking at a guy who is used to being option 1A, who may be able to put his ego aside and say, no, I don't need the ball.
That's who he is, though, right, Cache? He is not type A personality that you would associate with NBA superstar, right?
I mean, I don't know
Demand
about
the ball and all that sort of thing.
I don't know about type A personality, but he's wanted to take the most shots on a team that's had a bunch of other really good players. He's been the guy. He's been the guy closing at the end of games while you got Jaylen Brown literally yesterday saying, I'm the best two-way player in the game.
But that's a function also of how the organization is built. That wasn't him demanding it. This is the choice by the coach, the choice by the GM who was his former coach. That's how they built the team. Now, Jaylen Brown has shown something now that maybe they weren't comfortable before. Remember, we were joking about him not having a left hand 2 years ago, and now that seems to have gone away, right? So that's part of it. But the other part of it, again, is just the reality of his physical capability. And even if he doesn't play well, him being on the floor will force.
It opens things up for everybody else.
You have to respect it.
Mazzulla Coach of the Year? With the job that he's done with the roster that they have?
He's...
Was Shireman playing how many games?
Look, man, there's a lot. Look, Mitch Johnson, did anyone have San Antonio being even close to being this good?
True.
And Wemby's good, But remember, Wemby missed a bunch of time.
It's everybody else.
And they won more. I think Mitch Johnson's done a great job. I think JB has absolutely done a great job.
I think you're discounting Detroit big time in the East.
You know what? You know why I'm discounting them? Because I see all the makings of playoff failure. Not like perennial playoff failure, but right now, these are the things. Number one, you have one playmaker. So we've seen this time and time again where we're gonna double and trap the hell out of him and force someone else to make a play. I don't know if they have someone else who can make plays.
Duncan Robinson would like a word.
There you go. Number two, one of the worst three-point shooting teams, both in accuracy and attempts and makes.
Duncan Robinson would like a word.
They don't shoot well. They don't shoot often. And you got to be able to make threes in the NBA in the playoffs in order to keep defenses honest, especially when, again, we've established they're trapping the hell out of your best player who's your only playmaker. Number three, and this one is big, one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the NBA. You got to be able to make free throws. If you don't make free throws, it comes back to bite you. And then number four, this one's a little not as extreme as the other ones. They turn it over a lot, which makes sense because they only have one guy who makes plays. So all those things to me are the things that, like, right now, as constructed with this level of experience, they're going to run into a team that's more experienced, less talented, and is going to beat them. And by the way, let me be the first to say this on air, anywhere, as everyone has beaten the drum of, they own them or whatever. If the Knicks and the Pistons meet in the playoffs, I got the Knicks winning.
Really?
I like that call, and more so than in the other three major sports. I think this is true. Broadly speaking, the Pacers are a fluke who got to the finals because the Celtics went away. It is a progressive. Listen to my larger.
I'm sorry, no.
Okay.
I was reacting to something dumb that Jerry said.
I asked if the Knicks should be trying to get the 4 seed.
I hate that.
Rather than the 2 or the 3, so that they don't have to play Boston or Cleveland in the second round. They could play Detroit, who Amin says they're going to beat.
Well, choosing your foe. Oh, that's a good discussion for another day too. Is getting to choose who you play in the playoffs, higher seed. I would love to explore that.
We had this conversation before.
It's my favorite. Is the NBA? It is. I mean, if you look through the last 25 years or so, it is a progressive ascent in the sense that you don't, generally speaking, come out of nowhere as a team and go to the finals.
Yeah.
You make the playoffs, you get some experience, then the next year maybe you make a deep run, and then finally you're mature and ready to do that. We use that and apply that same standard to the NFL, which is not true.
No.
It is this guy, the moment was too big for Drake May. Drake May had a bum shoulder is what I think, as a matter of fact. But sometimes guys shrink in the big spot and other guys don't, but it is not a matter of that guy has been in a number of playoff wars and now he's ready to win. Not true in the NFL, definitely not true in the NHL. Give me the young skill over the grizzled vet leadership in the NHL. NBA, though, it does matter, right? The Pistons are not going to aren't going to the finals based on exactly what I'm describing.
Because there's such a vast difference between playoff basketball and regular season basketball, because basketball is such a free-flow state kind of game that there are things you get away with in the regular season by virtue of I'm playing against, like I always say, your season averages, while important, are also built on the corpses of all these horrible teams that you play. So that there's a little inflation there. Then number two is who I'm playing. They coming off a back-to-back? Is this the last game of a long trip? What's happening, right? There's all sorts of flux there. When we get to the playoffs, it's so different, right? That's the difference between NFL and NBA. In the NFL, a playoff game, the difference between a playoff game and a regular season game is, guys are a little bit more locked in. Other than that, it's the same amount of preparation time as from week to week in the regular season.
They somehow will tell you that they hit harder, but sure. But I take your bigger
it's
point.
effort. It's like effort and focus is ratcheted up. In the NBA, effort and focus is ratcheted up. But then also, we are in a position where we are given a luxury that we don't have during the regular season, which is A, I'm in one place for a few days. B, I'm not worried about anybody else but you. So typically, if we're playing Cleveland next week, my scout is on it, my one coach is on it, and then everyone else is worried about the rest of their lives. Like the other coaches on whatever their scout teams are, the players on what we're playing tonight, head coach, etc. When we get to the playoffs, everybody, 5 assistant coaches, all the scouts, everyone's just scouting you, our next opponent for the next 4 to 7 games. And so that brings a level of preparation for a playoff game that you typically don't get for a regular season game. The NFL, the preparation is pretty much the same because you got the same, unless you have like a bye, you get a 2-week. But for the most part, it's the same amount of preparation.
DraftKings Sportsbook puts you in the middle of basketball's biggest star-driven moments. Bet player props, bet live, and when a game turns fast, DraftKings has your back with early exit. If your player gets injured anytime in the first half, your bet stays alive. And once it settles, you still get paid in cash. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's with code DAN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Feel the rush. Live thoroughbred racing is happening now at Laurel Park, the Players Track. Every Friday through Sunday, the gates open at 11 a.m. and the action starts at noon. Free admission, fast-paced racing, and real wagering excitement from start to finish. Pick your horses, place your bets, chase the win. From live racing and simulcast action to great food, special events, and nonstop sports viewing, Laurel Park is where the action lives. Come, win, play. Visit laurelpark.com.
Don Le Batard.
If Daniel Day-Lewis did it, you'd be jerking off all over yourself.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I would be.
Aggressive description.
I mean, what is it? What is that?
I'm just saying.
No,
you know what?
That's
You're
me.
just saying what?
That's me.
That was
Daniel
something
Day-Lewis
Bruce
does something.
yesterday, yeah.
I see that photo of Daniel Day-Lewis looking like Lincoln before he's about to start filming Lincoln. And you know what I do, Amin?
Stugotz.
I jerk off all over myself. That's what I do.
Lincoln, who you outed the other day?
Don't make this a rejoin.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
NBA feels like the most of the major sports, like the regular season, is treated as a rehearsal. It is an ongoing rehearsal outside of 6 to 10 minutes per game in, combined minutes over the course of the 48. Everything is just about we're working on our stuff. Yep. We have the luxury to get Jason Tatum back up into the rotation. We're just working on our stuff for the next 20 games. That doesn't exist in the other 3 major sports.
We are practicing for the postseason. Like, it's a live practice. It's not like going through the motions practice. But in essence, all of it is. This is the reason why one of my jobs when I was a video coordinator was any game that ended within 2 possessions in the last 2 minutes, I had to cut up all of that and put it into a database. And so that when we would play that team, I could show you every close game, defensive scheme and offensive set that our opponent has run. That's why when you see in the NBA game at the end, or like in a playoff game, they're in a timeout, guys are huddled around an iPad behind they're pulling up the video and they're trying to basically predict, hey, this is what they like to run when they're down 3 with under 30 seconds on the clock, and this personnel out there. And that's why you always see one of the assistant coaches looking over here to try and see who are the guys who are getting up off the bench. A lot of that is, it's built in the regular season. That doesn't mean regular season is less important or not fun or any of those things. It just means that we are gearing up for something else. It's also why, for instance, Steve Kerr, when they said, oh, you have this death lineup with Andre Iguodala in the starting lineup or whatever. Why don't you just run it all the time? It's like, no. That's not a regular season thing where I just wear my guys out. That's something I'll hold in my pocket and wait until the right moment in the playoffs.
I mean, clever OCs will do the same thing in the NFL, but Taché in baseball, it's interesting that playoff baseball informed the way the regular season is now approached with relief pitchers and with your pitching staff in general. The idea that's only really been true for about the last 8-10 years, right? That you would
we were talking
come
about it back here.
postseason we're just going to by committee it every game.
We were talking about it back here that playoff baseball now sort of reflects what the regular season was like. But the first team that I can really remember going to and winning a World Series almost solely based off their bullpen was the Kansas City Royals. I think that was in 15 or in 16.
Giants did it too, maybe even before.
Yeah,
right?
and the bullpens mattered, but like those Giants teams had several starters who would go deep into games. They would have Bumgarner and Matt Cain and Tim Lincecum. They had all of these guys who would pitch heavy innings, and Bumgarner was a guy who came back similar to what actually you saw with the Dodgers this year.
Yeah, the Royals were also like a station-to-station baseball team, too. It was weird because baseball had already started shifting. They were like a holdover. They were bullpen first, no doubt.
Yeah, and it was like Wade Davis had national fame because of the season that he had in those playoffs. But that is where the game doesn't really change the same way. But at the same time, like that hook will be even quicker in the postseason with a starting pitcher than it will be otherwise. And you might actually see teams try to lay down a bunt in the postseason to try to get a guy over and get that one extra run in a way that you would never see during the regular season anymore.
Jeremy, did I have that right? You said that this 2016 when the Royals won?
I mean 2015,
right?
2015. It's been over 10 years since we heard this.
They are the champions. Glory, Gloria. Gloria, Gloria, I think I got your number, Gloria.
That's Brett Hall.
Oh.
You had the colors wrong. So the Royals, blue. Two different
Missouri,
colors.
though, right?
I'm not gonna lie, you like in my ear were like, "Give me Gloria," and I was like, "I don't know why he wants this, but I'll get it for him."
Different part of Missouri.
Okay.
Kansas City and
wait a second.
St.
You
Louis.
went Royals when you meant to honor the St. Louis Blues.
Yeah.
Man,
So you got the colors wrong.
that's embarrassing. Not even me.
You know, I can't remember what movie it is, but the guy says it's not the same ballpark. It's not even the same sport.
Right.
And was that? And you say that was Brett Hall, or was that
Yeah, it was
Artie
Brett Hall.
Lang?
That was Brett
I
Hall.
assumed that was Artie Lang.
Brett Hall wasn't seen for a good year and a half after that, though.
What year was that?
I'm gonna guess
I want to say 2018.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I think 19. That's when our clip was
A
saved.
little less.
June of 19.
Well, a
Yeah,
little
that's
less.
right there.
Woof.
Yeah.
You're in the neighborhood.
You know what?
Got a little yellow in that, by the way.
Hit the
for
button.
Blues.
Go ahead.
Gloria for the Kansas
doesn't know
City
the button.
Royals.
No,
Penalty box?
Penalty box me.
He doesn't.
Oh
know,
yeah. How do I do the penalty box? That's definitely
I'd
right.
love
It's
to
on your
watch you
computer, right
figure
there
it
on your
out.
computer.
Well, first
Yeah.
of all-
Right
first
on
of all,
your
Just
computer.
take
Yeah,
your
just
time
put-
and try to figure it
First,
out.
yeah,
Instead
take
of
a
because
walk.
Miami buttons
You
on
gotta
there.
say a lot of. Wait, hold on. Let me just find this one thing while I
Avoid
hold on,
anything
search,
labeled
please.
Carollo.
Please don't just forgive me for 1 second.
Or
As
Suarez.
I say, hold on.
Well, I don't
just,
know.
Just for 1 second,
Not
give me.
My
hold on,
eyes
what
are
do we say?
bad, so I'm
Okay,
gonna
hold on,
hit.
Just go ahead and like go ahead. Okay, forgive me just
pick
one
one.
moment as I
I'm
find
just
one.
gonna hit one
Hold on,
here,
okay.
and
Well,
it's
don't.
this one.
White woman.
Beat it.
White.
Calling Gloria. Da, da, da. Hey, so now that the Matthew Tkachuk brought glory back to the Florida Panthers,
It's a hell of a run for Matty Tkachuk.
in a reflected way. What are people in Miami, sports fans in Miami, or for the entire state? What's next now? The U had its nice little moment, came up a little short.
A little short.
I just want to say on behalf of everybody from Indiana University, rooting for the Hoosiers, and everything, I just want to tell you that I do still think about you guys and how close you got to that, and my heart goes out to you guys. And sorry about what happened, and better luck next time. And I just don't want you to hang your head about anything. Just you have a lot to be proud of with the last season. But what are you? So what now? What do you turn your gaze
something.
to? Not the Heat, right?
This Marlins team. Make a little noise.
The Marlins, really?
serious?
It's a fun little team.
Fun little team. I'm telling you, you don't know the names yet, but you will.
I won't.
Strong rotation.
Peter Bendex.
Really good bullpen.
Player?
No.
That's the president of baseball operations.
Chase it. So legitimate wild card.
Yeah, they'll be in the
aspirations.
they'll be in the wild card chase. They should be, at least based off of the season that they had last year and the young guys who are on that team right now. I heard who's on the team.
They have two stud aces.
Sandy's there. I know Sandy's
They have Sandy.
there.
They have Yuri Perez, both at the top of that rotation. But going down, you also have a couple of like top prospects in all of baseball.
Could we
who are ready
caucus
to come
though?
up.
Because like he's asking who's our best shot here.
They're about to start in a
Well, not the Dolphins.
I would favor the actual Panthers' chances better than the Marlins
of making the postseason.
Yeah,
25 games left.
The best team in the state right now is what? The Tampa Bay
Panthers.
Lightning, easily. The whole state. I'm giving it to.
Pros.
Yeah, I'm doing
We're
the
going
whole
pros?
thing. I'm covering
UM
all-
football.
I'm covering it
It's
all.
got to be UM football.
The best state for the rest of this year. You can only watch one team for the next 12 months. Canes football.
Canes football. I think it's
You have the
easy.
most optimism about that.
100%.
Canes football.
Let me ask you this because it came up the other day, and I don't know that we gave a satisfying answer. Tua, Kyler Murray, Malik Willis, Kirk Cousins. Choose. Those are your four best options.
Kyler.
Malik Willis.
What does my team? Hold on. What does my team look like? Let's ask some basic
Well,
questions.
there's
looks like
nobody
the
left. They have Jalen Waddle on it. They have
Paul.
Devon Achane, and that's about it.
Maybe Darren Waller if he wants to come back.
They have Aaron Brewer and Paul. Okay, they have two
think
good offensive linemen.
When you consider the staff's experience with Malik Willis in Green Bay, having a feeling like they know how to put him in positions where he can succeed, front office alignment, I think for all those factors, you'd probably give Malik Willis an edge over Kyler Murray, who's more of a finished product. I think the hope of Malik Willis, the fact that he probably has a higher ceiling because we haven't seen the depths yet, and the fact that there's alignment would probably talk you into Malik Willis a little bit more specific to this franchise. I think in a vacuum, you probably go Kyler Murray.
I've heard rumors of the Anthony Richardson
swap. Oh, God.
I was going to say, if you want to throw names out there.
He's throwing names out. He said Kirk Cousins, who's been terrible.
100 years old.
Oh, no. I disagree with you, Tony, about Kirk Cousins.
Nobody's a bigger Kirk Cousins guy than I am. I don't know if you know that.
He was lousy, no doubt, coming back from the Achilles.
Full of blouse.
But then he was real good when he came in at the end of last year. Or it wasn't for a game and a half stint either. He was good, and they beat some good teams. I think Kirk Cousins still has something left. And in fact,
Anthony Richardson, 8-7 career record.
I'll go so far as to say this one to you. This may seem like a hot take. I would rather have Kirk Cousins as the starting quarterback in Pittsburgh than Aaron Rodgers. How say you to that one?
I don't hate it.
We park our car in different garages on that one.
I mean, the guy's going to be 43, and you already saw what he's capable of doing. He's not going to get better from last year to this year. So you are announcing to the other 31 teams, we have no intention of competing for the Super Bowl. Maybe the playoffs once again. Maybe this year we'll get over the hump and win a wild card round game, but we have no intention of really trying to compete for the Lombardi, which is a weird position to take. Malik Willis, at least, we don't know what's going to happen. Why would you run back what you know the ceiling of is not reaching the Super Bowl?
Kirk Cousins or 9?
I mean, I absolutely think that that's in play.
Why'd you say that way?
I think 9's done.
I disagree with that.
Just say who 9 is.
We're doing a football thing, guys. Don't worry about it.
We all know who 9
Come on.
is, right?
Nobody
Come on,
like 9.
Chris. You don't know who 9
JJ
is?
McCarthy?
That's right. That's a 9.
You got it.
No.
Is that actually who it is?
Yeah, man.
Self-appointed
Come
nickname.
gotta say
Yeah, that's the biggest red flag
Nobody-
going on that guy.
nobody needed
not what
that.
happened last
I
year.
was making a joke. I didn't even know that was really him.
I think 9. I think KOC professionally is now, kind of on the hook, obviously, for JJ McCarthy. I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to redshirt him a little
She
bit.
coaches football now?
We don't like her. But that video.
I like Kirk. I like Kirk
Me
to
too.
Minnesota.
Really?
I mean specifically to Minnesota.
There, with KOC.
Yeah, and I like, by the way, I would not be surprised. Oh, how ridiculous you sound. Just as ridiculous as anybody saying the Patriots and Seahawks are going to go to the Super Bowl in February of 2026. You would have been laughed out of any room. Beware the Minnesota Vikings if they can get this right. That roster is ready to roll. They just need maybe Kirk Cousins, but I also wouldn't be surprised if J.J. McCarthy in year 3, which is essentially his second year, and the first one this past year was injury-plagued. Wouldn't be surprised if he turns the corner and the Vikes, even in the mighty NFC North, make some noise.
We can both agree Kyler Murray stinks.
I don't know. I think you can still resurrect that.
At what?
Football.
Oh, I was saying it's Call of Duty. He's
nasty.
nice. He's nice at Call of Duty.
Is he though?
He also has that in case of emergency baseball career.
What's this?
Gloria.
What's the statute of limitations?
Let's go, Royals.
Gloria.
I think I got your number.